Well, hello everyone, welcome back to Ray County. It's a pleasure to have you here joining us. Now we are rolling into the second of the wheat fields. If you remember last time, Floyd finished getting the lime spread on this, and we are rolling in now to get the wheat planted. You'll see we've had a little bit of a tidy up in the yard. You can't see it with the auger wagons in the shed, but we actually got the John Deere out and hooked up onto the roller because our helper, who's going to turn up very soon, is hopefully going to take over. Well, not take over, but they're going to take that roller down to the field we've already seeded, get that one all rolled and sorted out, and then they can jump in here and get this one done as well. Current situation, apart from having to seed the wheat and hopefully having enough seed to be able to get it done, current situation is hopefully the dealer's found someone to buy the summer's disc, which is exciting. I'm hopefully going to get a bit of money for that. Not sure what it's worth. But in other news, we're not going to be doing any harvesting this month. It's going to be November before we can get things back and down to the two cornfields down near the co-op. So that's a little bit of a sit rep, a little bit of an update on where things are at for us. But we're just going to power this up and rest all the right things. That's the ear cart running. That's the seeder running. Slow that all down. And the guidance steering turned on and we're good to go. There we go, getting underway. So like I said, we're just going to jump into this, start getting seeded. There's the summer's disc that we're hopefully going to get rid of, and see how we go. Hopefully get all this wheat in the ground. If we have to go down and pick up some more seed, one, I hope we have enough money to be able to buy some. Two, we'll just run down with the pickup and grab a pallet with some bags on it so we can load the bags in manually. That's probably going to be the easiest way to handle that at the moment. So there we are, that's us. We are going to jump into it, so we'll catch up with you very soon. That's the headlands done and the field, I guess, underway. But I see our helper is over there waiting to lend us a hand. So I'm just going to pop in here and get that all turned off. Don't need to fold it up. Leave that winged down. But we're just going to leave this here for a second. Jump out and we'll go and say hello. Go and get them started over here with the rolling. So in the tractor with me today, I'd like to give a very warm welcome to Darren Watkin, who has come along to lend a hand today. Welcome, Darren. Great to have you here to help. I hope you're doing well. First job for you, mate. We're going to set you up in here with the roller, get this wheat field rolled. We need to get this done this month before the crop germinates. So we're really left with the next few hours to get that sorted out. So we just get ourselves pulled in here. Let's get it unfolded. Here we go. And it will wing out. A little bit unrealistic there with the way those wheels pivot. But it's going to get it set up in the right position. And fingers crossed, if we just pull forward a little bit, we're going to a little bit of a change in state there. You can see that that's being rolled. So, perfect. All right, well, let's set things up here for Darren to get underway. And we will go back and carry on with our seeding. Be able to keep an eye over the fence to see how he's getting on. Get ourselves out of the way over here and leave Darren to it. Now, that tractor is only just powerful enough. I think it's about 160 horsepower to pull that roller. That tractor's 175, so it might struggle up the hills a little bit, but fortunately the fields aren't too steep. But there we go, that's all looking much better. Some good pH value there and good nitrogen. Obviously we got some fertilizer on the outsides of the fields, but get over here, we're going to get into some spots where the pH It's not too bad. Okay. Of course the pH is good. It's the nitrogen is bad. Nitrogen's the fertilizer. pH is the lime. So yeah, pH is pretty good across. Nitrogen is very good when we get out here on the edges. So there we go. We'll leave Darren going on that, and we will go and jump back in the tractor and start on some up and down rows here with the seeder. We're fortunate that the first few rows here, these are big long ones, so they're going to be good to get into. Not too much turning and cover a decent amount of the field. Then we get these couple of awkward spots sort of up in here, which that one's not too bad, it's quite long. And even the one on the other side, still a decent length. So we'll get into those as well. I am thinking we're not going to have enough seed. We've already gone through about 800 litres just going around the outside, so used almost 50% of the seed up, and I'd say we're well short of 50% of the field done, but not too far. Regardless, though, I think we're going to run out and we will have to go and pick up some seed. So let's keep an eye on that, and we'll just react if and when we have to. There goes Darren over in that other field, making his way around the first headland. Like I said, he's probably going to struggle heading up this hill for the next wee while. I will just wait and see what happens. But yeah, there we go. That's things carrying on. Things seeding now, as I alluded to before, or did say before, we are going to have the dealer coming in. They have managed to find a home for the summer's disc, so we will be getting rid of that. As for harvesting, well, if we can get through these fields and get everything done here, we'll invite Darren to hang around for a little bit longer and help us get the combine, grain cart, truck all down to those fields, and possibly make a start on the next part of the harvest. So we'll wait and see how we go here with this one before we make that decision. But anyhow, let's soldier on. We've already made a little bit of a start and keep on going. I'd say I've got further through the field than I thought, down to the last 50 or so litres of wheat. We've managed to get to all of this chunk in here done, all the big long rows done. We're just left with that section up on the other side of the tree, between there and the house and the yard, to do. So I think we're definitely going to have to go and buy some more seed. 30 litres ain't going to cut it, but it's not going to be too bad. Just one pallet will do us for now, which is good, because the money's just not there. It is rapidly disappearing. So we've got Darren over there. He's all finished. Looks like he's got the roll folded up and ready to come over in here. So we'll probably just wait on him starting that until we have managed. In fact, you know what we could do? Maybe a little bit proactive here. Because I'm just going to turn that off. There's no point starting this section. Because we're going to be heading down to harvest in those other cornfields, I might as well get him to run the grain cart down to there. We can leave that parked up on the side of the field, and we can bring him back in the pickup. It saves us having to run it all down next time, because we're 2 people, 3 bits of equipment to get down there, ain't going to cut it. So I think that'll be quite a clever little idea, actually. Quite a first I just thought of that. All right, efficiencies, that's what we're looking for. Right, let's leave that there, get that all turned off, fan spinning, and we'll go grab the pickup. We'll head over, grab Darren, and head on down to the shop. Go and grab some seed. Well, there goes Darren. He is off, lights on. Let's jump in here and follow him down to the field. We'll be able to be a little bit of a, I guess, a slow vehicle marker there. Hopefully get down and not cause too much problems with the traffic. These roads are not very wide, and that tractor is rather large, so Probably more the traffic coming towards us I'm a little bit more worried about than the traffic behind. Traffic behind's certainly not going to be able to pass very easily, but let's just have a look there. All right, looks clear left, clear right, perfect. All right, we'll sit here behind and head on down, go get this parked up at the field. I'll tell you what, he's done a pretty good job so far. Most of the traffic coming the other way has been pretty patient, kind of pausing to let him go past. It's a bit hard to show you because there is some vehicles coming the other way, but those duals and the back of the grain cart do stick out quite some distance. But thank you for being patient, much appreciated. It's not too much further to go down here, so we'll just keep on following down. Just have to appreciate all the patience from the locals. I guess they get used to having equipment like this running around. So here we are. Now the beauty of these fields is we've got this big grass section here in between, which we can use as a bit of a staging area. So we'll be able to bring the truck down, combine, everything like that down this way too. So I'm not quite sure where Darren's heading. Hoping he was going to go in on the grass. Well, there we go. We'll leave that parked up there next to the field. And we're going to carry on down and go and get this bag of seed from the co-op. So here we go, down to our last $400. It's not a nice place to be, I can tell you that. Get this put up on here though, and hopefully we can think about this as our future. You can think this in the ground, and growing is an asset to us at the moment, so the more we can get in the ground the better, right? That there, a bit of a lip on the edge of the pickup. There we go. Perfect. Alright, there's some bags of seed. We'll go and get those thrown into the seeder. And we'll be able to carry on, get the last of that wheat done. Alright, that's us back here, and seeds all up in the air cart now, which is good. You'll see somewhere over there. Darren gave us a bit of a hand and then he got going. So we'll just get the pickup here out of the way and then we can carry on as well. We're going to have to actually move it because that roll is wider than our two headland passes, and he's doing two. So we might even see about taking just the end off here and a little bit more around the headlands, just so he can carry on and get some work done, and not going over bits we haven't seeded. Right, get this out of here, get this out of the way, put it back in the shed, and we'll carry on getting the rest of the wheat done. It was fortunate timing, just able to get it Darren's way there just in time as he rolls around there with the roller for his second headland pass. And we're going to roll our way down here for our final pass with the seeder. Perfect. And there we go, this will be all our wheat planted. Now I'm pleased. I don't know what goes on with the textures here, where it picks up kind of a different cultivated stubble type texture. Sometimes, other times it's just the soil. I think it depends whether it's thinking it's direct drilling. Sometimes there was a little bit of crop left over. I'm not sure. Anyhow, it's nice to see that the roller goes through and rids the field of all of that mess, and will make it look like it's all one single field with just the one crop and all handled in the same way, which is good. And we're just going to wait here for a second, let Darren go past. Think how he's going to turn around in there. Yeah, we'll just wait here and let him get back past, because we're going to be having to stop and fold up and things like that. Bit of a tight little corner down in there to turn around in, but super impressed with that John Deere pulling that roller. Doing it with ease by the looks of things. Darren might say otherwise, but we'll get that feedback from him when he's finished. So there we go, perfect. So with this all done, we're going to go park the air seeder in the shed. Get to there, done. Turn everything off and get this all folded up. Like I said, we're going to go park it up in the shed, and then I might spend a little bit of time pulling the truck out and getting the trailer and everything on the back, and figure out what we're going to be doing with this corn. Get it all ready so when we can run down and start doing some work on planting or harvesting these fields, sorry, I was going to say planting, get some work done on harvesting the fields, we will be all good to go. So I think we'll just roll the air cart here and the air seeder back into the shed. It's going to need a little bit of a clean. Still don't have a pressure washer, so that's going to be a little bit problematic. Can't afford one. Might have to see if we can find a hose, but there we go. That's that all sorted. You know what actually else we can do? We can get that Summers hooked up on the back of this tractor. In fact, let's do that now. We'll pull that out because when the dealer gets here with the truck, we'll be able to get that all loaded up and get rid of it. So we'll get rolled back here underneath the Wilson. Get that all hooked up. There we go. Stands up, and that is that all good to go. So truck's all ready now. Get that cover over that. I'll leave that sitting open. So that's the truck all ready to go. We've got the disc sitting there waiting for the dealer to get here to come and pick that up. We've got Darren out there doing his rolling. Everything's sort of taking shape at the moment, isn't it? Grain bins over here. Of course, we do have some room in here for corn. This one's what? Got 150,000 litres of space. But we'll just have to decide whether we're going to bring it back here, store it before we sell it, or whether we just take the advantage of being right down next to the co-op and get some of it sold down there straight away. I know we won't get as good a price, but might be something we need to think about doing. So we'll give that some thought as well. Right. Might go have a cup of tea, grab something to eat, let Darren carry on doing the work out here, doing the good job that he is doing. So a funny thing happened. We've just jumped in the tractor here, riding along with Darren. Our money went down to zero. And I wondered why on earth we were losing money all the time. Now, one of the deals I had with the workers, the people who are coming along and helping, was I wouldn't be paying them wages. I'd offer them a bit of a farming experience, one they might not get normally, and obviously food and accommodation. But at some stage, something's reset, and we've been paying wages. We paid $7,500 in wages. Ignore the big money there. This was resetting and getting rid of the Steiger or the quad track. So that's why that is all there, and everything else is all for setting up the map. But yeah, for some reason, we've ended up having some wages going out. So I am going to use a little bit of magic and add that back in. Complete transparency. I did want to explain that in case you're wondering why we'd gone from having no money and talking about not having much money to now having some. Inexplicably, and no idea why, whether there was an update to Courseplay or a new version of the mod that I put in which reset that. So we're going to add that $7,500 in. And it's not going to save the farm, but it'll help us carry on getting some things done here. And there we go, $7,500 back in the account. Obviously a dollar tax taken somewhere for the transaction fee or something like that to get that done. But anyhow, as I said, we're riding along with Darren. He's finishing off this little section down in here, and if we just spin around, still has that piece up in there to do as well. So yeah, we're just going to hang out with him for a while and ride along, see how he goes to get this all finished off. Just like that, Darren's done. Last of the rolling in the wheat fields, which is good. Nice to get that all tidied up. Just in time for lunch as well. There we go, get to the end there. That's all going to start folding itself up. Getting ready to put away. So we'll head on back over to the yard. Go and get this all packed up and unhooked. And then really there's nothing much more for us to do today. We're just waiting for that truck to turn up to come and grab that disc, figure out exactly how much we're going to get paid for it, because while they've said they're going to take it, I don't know if we've actually agreed a price yet. They were going to come back to me on that one, but yeah, that's kind of what we're doing, what we're working on for now. So we're just going to go and park this up in front of these silos, smoothable ones. Not like we're using them for anything else at the moment. It's a little unfortunate to have those sitting there. You're going a bit extreme to be thinking about selling those, wouldn't it? I know someone would probably buy them, but that just sounds a little bit too extreme. So there we go. Leave that parked there, and we're just going to let the day whittle its way down towards the evening, and hopefully getting some harvesting soon. Probably not the best time to be trying to record a video and talking to you, but the truck has turned up and we are getting the disc loaded up. You'll see we've already got a nice juicy extra $40,000 in our account. It's telling me to go back just a little bit more. I'm just mindful of where those wheels are. There we go, that should just about do. So we get that unhooked. There we go. Leave that sitting there, and hopefully that is going to be out of here. But yeah, like I said, we've got a nice juicy $40,000 in the account. So that disc is worth about 60,000 new. Managed to broker a deal through the dealer for someone who was looking for one, who's happy to pay 2/3 of new value just because of the condition of it. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Nice to get rid of it. In the meantime, we had Darren give us a hand. We've got our truck has headed on down to the field. We've got that taken down. So all that's going to be left for us in the morning when it's time to start harvesting, drive down, pick up the combine from the neighbour and head on down and get into it. So we'll let these guys get out of here and we'll catch you in the morning. Well, good morning everyone, welcome back. It is another beautiful day here in Ray County, but what's not quite so beautiful is the rather angry phone call we got this morning from the dealer. All our efforts, and we weren't able to make one of our repayments. Everything's come out, we've still got 7 grand sitting in there, but I'm not sure what it was a repayment on, but basically I've said, no, that's it, 5% extra going on top of what you owe us already. So that is not ideal, and it does go to show we need some more money. So we've moved into November, which is why we had all of those repayments come through and things we had to deal with. We're just on our way. We've got Darren here with us. We're heading down to pick up the combine. We're going to get started on the corn. So first things first, I need to make sure by the end of November we've got the better part of $50,000 or so, $55,000 in the account just to be able to cover the repayments we need to make. So I think this corn that we're about to harvest is just going to go straight into the co-op and we'll get some money. There's the combine sitting there looking nice and ready to go. So we'll let Darren jump out. He's going to bring that down for us and we will go and get started on some harvesting. But we're going to have to make some big decisions. There is some tough decisions going to have to be made, and I think it's going to revolve around what we do with those fields that we're about to go and harvest. So let's get down there, we'll take a look, a bit more of a look at them at least, and we'll get started on some corn harvesting. Well, we've made it safely-ish. I don't know what it is with our employees and people who come and help, but beacons just seem to be non-existent whenever they're driving around on the road. Now we're just going to head in this way and go and park up over here, and Darren's hopefully going to pull in, get things unfolded and get up and going, start to get some corn harvested. So Darren actually said he's quite happy to run the grain cart, so we'll see how this goes, but we'll get everything unfolded here. Haven't really done any work in the corn. We harvested a lot of soybeans, but haven't had much of a chance to run the corn, so that's that open. Start turn our attention around the back, get the auger and hopper and everything opened up. There you can see the auger going up. Let that get locked into position. Up here, there we go, everything looks all pretty good up there. We've got all the right variety in. Right, let's turn things on and get into it. There we go, power that up. Get it down, and we'll get ourselves turned in there. Now we need to make sure we're dropping some straw, because we definitely want to make the most of that. There we go, get that going. Got some guidance assist already here in the field, which is nice and handy. Turn on our cruise control. In fact, let's just stop very quickly. We're just going to jump out here, turn that off, and yeah, I was just going to say we'll check behind us, but make sure we've got some corn stalks dropping out there, and as you can see, nice and clear, we have corn stalks, which is good. So everything else seems to be running pretty well. Got fingers crossed that Darren's going to know what to do and where to get to when we need to be unloaded. So let's jump back up in the cab and get into it. And there we go. Now this field's not too big, so it's not going to be a huge field to get done. But of course we are going to have to get down and bale the corn stalks as well. That's something we could have actually, we thought about it, could have had Darren here doing. But anyhow, we'll just carry on and we will chop into it and get this done. Should be a good looking yield so far. No, not really. 60ish%. That's actually not very exciting at all. But it's crop, it's corn, it's going into our hopper and it's going to end up being sold. So let's carry on, get the field done. So we've just finished unloading into the cart there. We've had camera issues, equipment issues, all sorts of issues over the opening up of this little bit of the field. It's only a small field. We've done 3 headlands and we're just about through the middle of it. Hasn't run as smooth as I wanted to with using auto drive course play. I tried to cheat a little bit with the way I did it, but we're getting to drive a combine and I'm just having a bit of fun doing it. So we'll carry on. Hopefully we through all of those issues now. We've unloaded into the grain carts. Just now it was empty and had filled up almost the front hopper on the truck, so hopefully we get a full truckload out of this field. That would be nice, but we're just going to carry on here. And hopefully our grain cart behaves itself a little bit. Once you get a field opened up though, it always works so much better. But that's why we jumped from starting the field to being here pretty much into the middle of it. So we'll carry on, we'll catch up with you again soon. And here we go, a last little section, and this field's all done. So, not sure how much we're going to have ended up with. I don't think it's going to be enough to fill the truck, which is a little bit of a shame. Probably, you know what we're going to do? We're probably going to make more money off the corn stalks than we will off the actual corn, which could be a little bit embarrassing, but there we go. Let's go and get this unloaded. We might as well just unload straight into the truck. Not bother the grain cart, then we'll get the grain cart sorted out, get Darren under control. A little bit rogue, but it's not his fault. He's been a fantastic helper today. Let's go and get this all unloaded into there, get the grain cart unloaded, and then we're just going to park things up for next time because it's been enough time today. Plan next week though, next episode, is to carry on with the harvesting, and I might actually get out with the baler and tackle the baling of these corn stalks here in the field. So we'll see how that goes. I have to go and stop auto drive so that Darren doesn't come and try and unload, so we'll just fix that. So there we go, front hopper full. Still a few, probably might actually fill it up because there's a decent amount sitting in the grain cart if I remember correctly. About 60%, so we might actually fill the truck up, which would be nice. If we do, we'll run this down to sell it now and see how much money we're going to make. There we go, right. I'm going to pack this up over here, ready to roll into this one. Spot as any, turn that off. It's going to jump up in the grain cart. Is over here. 20,000 litres. Yeah, I reckon we will actually. We will fill the truck up. Let's see. Well, truck capacity is going up faster than the grain cart's going down, so definitely going to end up with a full truck. There we go. And another 7,000 litres, so better than I was hoping. Right, park this here as well. We'll have to unload the rest of that a little bit later. But last little task for today, let's go and see what we can get for selling this. So it's a nice short drive up the road here into the co-op. We've done it a few times now, getting good at it. And we need to go, this is actually the first load of grain we've sold. Everything else has gone into our silos. It'd be interesting to keep track of how much we ended up with. So what was that, 48,000 probably litres out of that field. We need to go up the top here, and head on over. I think we're over the weighbridge here, or over the, what's unload pit, isn't it? Got pit 1 and pit 2. So hopefully we get a little bit closer. Here we go, getting an unload and a dump point. And our money is starting to go up. Let's see what we get off a load. Goodness, what's that, 3.5 grand from one? So it's going to be about 7 grand off a load. That is not very much. I know we're selling at the bottom of the market at the moment, which is a little bit of a downer, but we need to get rid of it. We need the money. Can't carry on with the debt that we've got. There we go. Well, that's alright. It's 7 grand we didn't have before the start, so we'll keep on going, keep getting some crops harvested, and then figure out what we're going to do to keep on dragging this farm out of the sticky situation we are in. But that's going to do it for this episode of Ray County. As always, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you in the next one.